Ravi had never planned to travel that night. The decision was quiet, sudden, almost accidental. The small railway station was nearly empty when he arrived. One dim yellow bulb flickered above the old wooden bench. A dog slept near the ticket window, completely undisturbed by the world. Ravi looked at the clock. 11:47 p.m. The last train. He did not know where he wanted to go, only that he wanted to leave. Not run away. Just move. The train arrived slowly, with a long tired sound of metal breathing against metal. No rush. No crowd. Only 3 doors opened in front of him. He stepped inside. The compartment was old, peaceful, almost forgotten by time. One man was already asleep near the window, his head gently shaking with the slow rhythm of the train. A woman sat far away, knitting something under a small reading light. No one spoke. Ravi took the corner seat. The train began to move. Slowly. Very slowly. Like the night itself was pushing it forward. Outside the window, the station lights passed one by one, then disappeared. Darkness took over. Not scary darkness. Wide, open, endless darkness. Ravi rested his head back. For the first time in many days. There was nothing to do. Nowhere to reply. Nothing waiting, only the sound. Tack, 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 tack. Of the train moving gently on the tracks. Minutes passed. Or maybe longer. Time inside night trains moves differently. The knitting woman suddenly smiled, without looking at him. "You don't look lost," she said softly. "You look tired." Ravi gave a small smile. "I think I forgot how to stop," he replied. The woman nodded, like she understood something deeper than words. "This train helps people stop," she said, and returned to knitting. The train slowed near a small unknown station. No name board. No people. Only one lantern glowing near the edge of the platform. The door opened. No one entered. No one left. Yet. Ravi felt something change. Like the train had dropped a piece of noise behind. And moved forward, lighter. Hours passed gently. The man near the window woke up for a moment, looked outside, then at Ravi. "First time?" he asked. Ravi nodded. The man smiled faintly. "This train does not hurry," he said. "It reaches when you stop asking when." Then he slept again. The train continued through forests, empty lands, silent bridges. Sometimes Ravi saw distant lights in the hills. Sometimes nothing at all. But strangely, he did not feel alone. The train felt alive. Not loud. Not fast. But steady. Certain. Calm. Around 2 a.m., the train stopped again. This time at a small quiet platform where an old tea seller stood with a kettle. No shouting. No rush. Only soft steam rising into cold night air. Ravi stepped down. The tea seller poured tea slowly into a small glass. "You look lighter," the old man said. Ravi noticed. He really did. Not happy. Not sad. Just lighter. The tea was warm. Simple. Silent. He returned to the train. Back in the compartment, the knitting woman had finished her work. It was a small scarf. Plain. Soft. She placed it beside Ravi without speaking. "For cold mornings," she whispered. Ravi wanted to say thank you. But sleep had already begun to pull him gently down. The train moved again. Slower now. Softer now. The sound of wheels became distant. Tack. 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 Longer gaps between each rhythm. Ravi's eyes closed. Not forced. Not heavy. Just natural. In half-sleep, he felt the train crossing a long bridge. Wind moved softly through the window. Not cold. Not strong. Just present. Like the night was breathing slowly, somewhere far away. A faint announcement echoed. But words did not matter anymore. Ravi was no longer thinking. No longer searching. No longer holding anything. The train began its final slow movement. Not stopping. Not rushing. Just gliding. Into early morning silence. When Ravi opened his eyes, soft light filled the sky. The train had stopped. The compartment was empty. The knitting woman was gone. The sleeping man was gone. The scarf still rested beside him. Neatly folded. Real. Warm. Ravi stepped down. No station name. No noise. Only calm morning air. For the first time. His mind was quiet. Not because problems ended. But because he had stopped running. And somewhere behind him, the night train left again. Slowly. Carrying someone else. Who needed to stop. Ravi did not move from the platform for a long time. Morning had arrived quietly, without color, without drama. The sky was pale, almost empty, like a blank page waiting for nothing. The station had no name, no signboard, no noise. Only a narrow path led away from the tracks, disappearing into a soft gray fog. He looked back once. The train was already gone. No sound of wheels. No fading whistle. Nothing. As if it had never existed. Ravi touched the scarf in his hand. It was warm, real, gently woven. Proof that the night had happened. Proof that he had not imagined the journey. He began to walk. The narrow path was made of packed earth, slightly wet from night dew. Small stones pressed under his shoes with soft crunching sounds. There were trees on both sides, tall and thin, their tops hidden inside morning mist. Birds had not yet started singing. Even the wind seemed asleep. After some distance, Ravi saw a small house. Not broken. Not new. Just simple. White walls. Wooden door. A small clay lamp outside, still faintly warm as if someone had lit it before sunrise. He did not knock, yet the door opened slowly. An old man stood there, calm, unsurprised, as if he had been expecting Ravi. "You came by the night train," the old man said gently. Ravi nodded. "Come," the man said. Travelers should not stand in fog too long. Inside, the house was warm and quiet. A kettle rested over a small flame. The air smelled of tea leaves and old wood. Nothing luxurious, yet nothing missing. Ravi sat near the window. "Where is this place?" he asked softly. The old man smiled faintly. "Between leaving and arriving." Ravi did not fully understand, but strangely, he did not feel confused either. The old man poured tea into a clay cup and handed it to him. "People who arrive here," he said, "are usually tired of carrying noise." Ravi held the cup. The warmth spread slowly into his fingers, then deeper, into his chest. "When will the next train come?" Ravi asked. The old man shook his head. "Trains do not come here," he replied. "They only drop people." Time passed quietly. The fog outside began to lift, slowly revealing open land beyond the trees. Wide, empty, peaceful. No roads. No wires. No rushing world. Ravi felt something unusual. His thoughts were slower. Not forced. Just, slower. "You may walk," the old man said after some time. "Most travelers do." "Walk where?" Ravi asked. The old man pointed toward the open land. "Forward." Ravi stepped outside again. The air was cool but gentle. The earth stretched endlessly ahead, covered with soft grass moving slightly in a silent breeze. Far away, he saw a lone tree standing on a small rise. He began walking toward it. Not fast. Not slow. Just steady. As he walked, memories tried to appear. Deadlines. Voices. Unfinished things. Questions. But something strange happened. They faded quickly. Like sounds underwater. Unable to reach him fully. When Ravi reached the lone tree, he saw someone sitting beneath it. The knitting woman. Calm. Quiet. Exactly as she had been in the train. You reached, she said softly. Ravi sat beside her. Where is this place? He asked again. She continued knitting slowly. It is where movement becomes rest, she said. They sat in silence for a long time. Wind moved through the grass in soft waves. The sky grew brighter but still gentle. No harsh sunlight. No urgency. Ravi noticed something. He was not waiting anymore. Not for answers. Not for trains. Not for anything. After some time, the woman finished knitting again. This time, it was not a scarf. It was a small piece of cloth, unfinished, open at one end. For what? Ravi asked. For what comes next, she said, placing it in his hand. A distant sound appeared. Very faint. Very slow. Tack. 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 Ravi recognized it immediately. The train. But it was not coming fast. Not rushing. Just gliding across distance. The woman stood. Do you want to return? She asked. Ravi thought for a moment. Return, to noise, to running, to endless movement. Or remain, in stillness. I don't know, he said honestly. She nodded. Then you are ready. The sound of the train grew slightly clearer, but still far away. The lone tree cast a longer shadow now. Time was moving again, but gently. Ravi felt sleep touching him. Not heavy. Not sudden. Just soft, like closing a book halfway through. He lay down beneath the tree. The grass was cool. The sky above was pale blue. The sound of the train became slower. Tack. 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 Longer gaps. Wider silence. His breathing softened. His body felt heavier, but peaceful. The knitting woman's shape blurred slowly. The lone tree faded into light. The distant train sound stretched into silence. And Ravi drifted. Between waking and sleeping. Between journey and rest. Carried by something unseen. Something gentle. Something quiet. Time passed. Or maybe it paused. There was no measure now. No clock. No direction. Only drifting. Somewhere far away. The train finally stopped. Not loudly. Not suddenly. Just, stopped. Ravi opened his eyes slightly. He was back inside the train compartment. Night again. Soft lamp glowing. Empty seats. Stillness. But this time. He was not tired. He was calm. The scarf rested near him. The unfinished cloth in his hand. Real. Warm. The train began to move again. Slowly. Carrying him forward. Or inward. He could not tell. Outside the window, darkness flowed like quiet water. No lights. No stations. No world rushing past. Only deep night breathing slowly. Ravi leaned back and closed his eyes again. The movement of the train was softer now than ever before. Almost floating. Tack. 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 Long silence between each rhythm. Like a heartbeat falling asleep. His thoughts no longer formed. No questions remained. No weight. No resistance. Only calm drifting. The lamp in the compartment glowed steadily, then softer, then blurred into a warm haze. The train slowed further. Almost stopping. Almost dissolving. Ravi felt himself sinking into deeper rest. Not dreaming. Not thinking. Just, floating downward into quiet darkness that felt safe, endless, and gentle. Far away, the faintest hint of morning waited. But it did not hurry. Nothing hurried now. Not the train. Not the night. Not sleep. Ravi drifted deeper. Breathing slow. Body heavy. Mind silent. And the night carried him gently. Without effort. Without sound. Without end. The train had not fully stopped yet. It moved in a space beyond time, where tracks did not need ground and motion did not need direction. Ravi was no longer aware of distance. The compartment around him felt larger, quieter, almost infinite. The lamp above flickered once, softly, then became steady again. Somewhere, a door opened in the next coach. Slow footsteps approached. Not hurried. Not loud. Familiar. Ravi did not open his eyes, yet he knew. The old man from the house. "You are sleeping while awake," the old man said gently. Ravi whispered, half dreaming, "Where is this train going?" The old man replied, "Where you no longer need to go anywhere." The train slowed even more. Almost still. Almost silent. And Ravi drifted deeper. Into complete rest. The train did not feel like a machine anymore. It felt like a slow breath moving through endless darkness. Ravi remained between sleep and waking, floating in that quiet space where thoughts no longer formed clearly. The lamp above him gave a soft golden glow, steady and calm, like it had all the time in the world. The old man sat across from him. Not speaking. Not moving. Just present. After a while, Ravi asked softly, "Was the house real?" The old man smiled. Did it feel real? Ravi thought for a moment. The warmth of the tea, the quiet fog, the open land, the lone tree, all of it felt more real than many things he remembered from his busy life. "Yes," Ravi whispered. "Then it was real," the old man said. The train moved through a stretch of deep night where even darkness seemed to rest. Outside the window, there was nothing to see, yet Ravi felt no emptiness. The silence was full, alive, peaceful. "Why do people come on this train?" Ravi asked. "They don't come," the old man replied. "They arrive, when they are too tired to keep running." Ravi did not reply. Because he understood. Somewhere ahead, a soft bell sound echoed once, distant, gentle, like a signal not meant for ears, but for the mind. The train slowed. Not stopping. Just easing. Like sinking deeper into calm water. Ravi's breathing became softer again. He noticed how light his chest felt, how quiet his mind had become. The noise he once carried, worries, pressure, unfinished thoughts, felt far away now, like something left behind in another life. The compartment door slid open slowly. The knitting woman entered. She sat beside the window, her hands resting peacefully, no knitting this time. "You stayed," she said quietly. Ravi opened his eyes slightly. "I didn't choose," he murmured. She nodded. "Peace is not chosen. It is allowed." The train moved again. Slower than before. Tack. 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 Long silence between each sound. Ravi felt sleep touching him deeper now, like a soft wave covering the shore at night. He did not resist. He did not try to hold awareness. He simply rested inside the movement. Outside, faint shapes appeared, wide empty fields under a dim sky. No lights. No houses. Just endless open stillness. Is this the end? Ravi asked faintly. The old man replied, it is where endings stop mattering. The lamp glow softened further. The compartment blurred slightly at the edges. The train seemed to move without sound now, gliding instead of rolling. Ravi's body felt heavy, deeply relaxed, as if sinking into invisible warmth. Even his heartbeat felt distant, slow, calm. No thoughts formed. No memories rose. Only drifting. The woman placed the unfinished cloth gently near his hand again. It is complete when you no longer need it, she whispered. Ravi wanted to ask what it meant. But sleep had already begun pulling him deeper. The train slowed once more. Almost still. Almost silent. Almost gone. Ravi drifted downward. Past thought. Past memory. Past awareness. Into a soft, endless quiet where nothing moved and nothing needed to. The lamp faded into darkness. The compartment dissolved into stillness. The train disappeared into silence. Ravi was no longer inside the train. He was floating in deep calm, carried by sleep, weightless, peaceful, untouched by time. Far away, morning waited. But it did not call him. Not yet. And in that deep silence, Ravi rested completely. A faint warmth slowly returned. Not light. Not sound. Just gentle awareness. Ravi felt something beneath him, soft ground, cool and steady. When he opened his eyes slightly, he saw the lone tree again, standing quietly under a pale sky. The knitting woman was gone. The old man was gone. Only the open land remained, endless and calm. Ravi did not move. Because for the first time, there was nowhere he needed to go. The wind passed softly through the grass. The world remained still. And somewhere beyond sight, the night train waited. For another traveler who needed to stop. The train rested in a silence that felt deeper than night. Ravi lay beneath the lone tree, unsure whether he was awake or drifting somewhere between memory and dream. The ground beneath him was cool and steady, holding him without effort. Above, the sky was pale and empty, like morning waiting behind a closed door. He could still feel the slow rhythm of the train inside his chest, even though no sound remained around him. It was as if the journey had moved inward, continuing quietly where no tracks were needed. After a long still moment, Ravi heard soft footsteps approaching across the grass. He did not turn immediately. The steps were calm, unhurried, familiar. When he finally opened his eyes, he saw the old man standing a short distance away, hands folded loosely, face peaceful as before. The fog had lifted completely now, revealing endless open land stretching beyond the tree, silent and untouched. You returned, the old man said gently. I never left, Ravi replied, his voice slow and distant, as if coming from far inside. The old man nodded, accepting the answer without question. He sat beside Ravi, not too close, not too far, simply present like a quiet stone near flowing water. For a while, neither spoke. The air moved softly through the grass, carrying no scent, no message, only calm movement. Ravi noticed how light his mind felt. Thoughts tried to form but dissolved before becoming clear. There was nothing pulling him forward, nothing pushing him back. Only stillness. Where does the train go when it disappears? Ravi asked after some time. It does not disappear, the old man said. It becomes quiet enough that you stop hearing it. Ravi closed his eyes again, listening inward. Somewhere deep within, the faint rhythm still echoed, slow and wide, like distant waves touching an endless shore. Tack. 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 The sound stretched into long spaces of silence, and within those spaces Ravi felt himself drifting deeper, sinking gently without fear. "You are learning to rest," the old man said softly. Ravi did not answer. Because he was already drifting. The lone tree above him blurred slightly. The open land faded into soft light. Even the presence of the old man felt distant now, like a memory dissolving into sleep. The rhythm slowed further, becoming almost nothing, almost silence. Time passed without measure. Then, somewhere far away, a faint bell echoed once. Not loud. Not sharp. Just present enough to be noticed. Ravi opened his eyes slightly. The old man was gone. The tree remained. The sky brighter now, though still gentle. Ravi felt something new, not movement, not urgency, but a quiet readiness, like a door within him opening without sound. He sat up slowly. The grass bent softly beneath his hands. The world around him remained wide, empty, peaceful. Far across the land, he saw something faint, a thin silver line stretching toward the horizon. Tracks. The train was waiting again. Not calling. Not rushing. Just waiting. Ravi stood, feeling no weight in his body, no noise in his mind. Step by step, he began walking toward the distant tracks, calm and steady, as if guided by something deeper than thought. The air remained still, the sky pale, the world silent. And somewhere ahead, beyond sight, the night train breathed quietly, ready to move whenever he arrived. Block 2, 600 words. Ravi walked without hurry across the wide open land. The grass brushed softly against his legs, bending and rising again in slow waves. There was no path, yet he did not feel lost. Each step felt certain, natural, as if the ground itself knew where he needed to go. The thin silver line of tracks grew clearer ahead, shining faintly under the quiet sky. As he approached, he noticed the train already resting there. Silent. Still. Waiting. No smoke. No sound. No movement. The doors were closed, yet not locked. The lamp inside the nearest coach glowed softly, steady and warm, like a familiar presence guiding him home. Ravi stepped closer. For a moment, he simply stood beside the train, listening. Not to sound, but to the absence of it. The world felt paused, balanced between moments, like a breath held gently without strain. Then the door opened slowly. No force. No noise. Just opening. Ravi entered. Inside, the compartment was the same as before, calm, old, untouched by time. The soft lamp above spread warm light across empty seats. The air carried a faint sense of stillness, neither warm nor cold, simply present. Ravi sat near the window. Outside, the open land stretched endlessly, fading into soft mist at the horizon. No houses. No roads. Only quiet space where nothing demanded attention. After a long moment, the train began to move. Not suddenly. Not forcefully. Just gently rolling forward. Tack. 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 The rhythm returned, slow and wide, like a sleeping heartbeat. Ravi leaned back, eyes half closed. This time, he did not feel tired. He felt empty in a peaceful way, free from weight, free from noise. The journey had changed. Or perhaps he had. The compartment door slid open again. The knitting woman entered quietly and sat across from him. Her hands were still now, resting peacefully, no threads, no cloth, only calm presence. "You came back," she said softly. Ravi nodded. The train was waiting. "It always waits," she replied. They sat in silence as the train moved through a stretch of endless calm. Outside, the sky slowly shifted from pale morning toward soft gray, like time moving without urgency. Ravi noticed how steady his breathing felt, how deeply relaxed his body had become. "Where does this journey end?" he asked after a while. The woman looked toward the window, eyes gentle. The train slowed slightly. Not stopping. Just easing. The lamp glow softened, spreading a warmer, dimmer light across the compartment. The rhythm of the wheels stretched into longer spaces of silence. Tack. Tack. Ravi felt sleep touching him again, deeper than before. His body grew heavier, his thoughts faded, his awareness softened like light dissolving into dusk. The woman stood quietly. "Rest," she whispered. Ravi closed his eyes. The train moved slower. Softer. Quieter. The compartment blurred. The rhythm faded. And he drifted again into deep, calm silence where nothing followed him and nothing needed to. Darkness returned, not heavy, not empty, but calm and endless. Ravi floated within it, aware yet resting, present yet drifting. There was no train, no tree, no sky, only a deep quiet where even time seemed to sleep. After a long stillness, a faint glow appeared far away. Soft. Warm. Steady. The lamp. As the glow grew closer, shapes slowly formed around him. The outline of the compartment returned, gentle and familiar. The train was moving again, but slower than ever before, almost floating through silence. Tack. Tack, long, wide spaces between each sound. Ravi did not open his eyes fully. He did not need to. The calm within him was deeper than sleep, deeper than thought. Somewhere nearby, the old man's voice appeared softly, like sound carried across water. "You have learned to stop." Ravi whispered faintly, "Will the train stop too?" The old man replied, "When you no longer need the journey." The movement slowed further. Almost still. Almost gone. The lamp dimmed slightly, its glow becoming softer, warmer, distant. Ravi felt himself sinking deeper into rest, beyond memory, beyond awareness, into complete stillness where nothing moved and nothing asked to move. Then, gently, the train stopped. No sound. No jolt. Only stillness. Ravi opened his eyes. Morning light filled the compartment, pale and soft. The seats were empty. The lamp was off. The door stood open. He stepped outside. The world was quiet, wide, peaceful. No station name. No noise. Only calm morning air. Ravi stood still for a long moment, breathing slowly, feeling the silence inside him, not empty, not heavy, but peaceful and steady. Far behind him, without sound, the night train began to fade into light. Its journey complete. Or perhaps continuing elsewhere. Ravi did not follow. He did not need to. For the first time, he was already at rest. Ravi did not know how long he had been standing in that quiet morning. The air was soft, neither cold nor warm, touching his skin gently like a whisper that asked nothing in return. The open land stretched endlessly before him, wide and silent, holding no direction yet offering no confusion. For the first time, he did not search for meaning. He simply stood, breathing slowly, feeling the stillness settle deeper within him. After some time, he began to walk again. Not because he had to, but because movement felt natural. The ground beneath his feet was smooth and calm, each step light, effortless, almost floating. There were no sounds except the faint brushing of grass and the slow rhythm of his breathing. The world seemed paused between moments, like time itself had softened. As he walked, he noticed something faint ahead. A small wooden bench. Simple. Still. Waiting. Ravi approached and sat down. The wood felt slightly warm, as if someone had been there not long ago. He looked around, but the land remained empty, endless, peaceful. No houses, no tracks, no train, yet he did not feel alone. The silence around him felt alive. After a long quiet moment, he heard a familiar voice beside him. "You are lighter now." Ravi turned. The old man was sitting at the other end of the bench, calm as always, eyes soft, presence steady like unmoving water. "I feel empty," Ravi said slowly. The old man smiled faintly. "Empty is good," he replied. "It means there is space for rest." They sat together without speaking. The sky above shifted gently, pale blue spreading slowly across the horizon. The world remained quiet, untouched by urgency. "Will the train come again?" Ravi asked after some time. The old man looked ahead, toward the far distance. "The train never leaves," he said. "It only becomes quiet when you no longer need to hear it." Ravi closed his eyes, listening inward. And somewhere, very faintly. Tack. Tack. The rhythm still lived within him. Slow. Wide. Peaceful. The old man stood. "When the sound fades completely," he said softly, "you will not need the train anymore." Then he walked away across the open land, steps silent, figure slowly dissolving into light. Ravi remained on the bench. Breathing slow. Mind quiet. Listening to the fading rhythm inside long spaces. Wide calm. As if the journey itself was dissolving. Ravi noticed something new. He was no longer waiting. Not for the train. Not for answers. Not for anything. He simply existed within the stillness, steady and peaceful. After a while, a soft breeze moved across the open land, bending the grass in slow waves. With it came a faint warmth, subtle yet comforting, like morning gently awakening the world. Ravi stood from the bench and began walking again, guided by no path, yet never uncertain. Far ahead, a faint glow appeared. Not bright. Not sharp. Soft. Golden. As he walked closer, the glow became clearer. The lamp. Standing alone in the open land. No train. No compartment. Only the small, steady lamp resting quietly on the ground, glowing exactly as it had inside the train. Ravi approached slowly, the light felt familiar. Warm. Peaceful. Alive. He sat beside it. The glow touched his face softly, steady and calm, like silent reassurance. He watched the light without thinking, without questioning, simply present. "You found it," came a gentle voice. The knitting woman stood nearby, calm and still, her presence soft like the glow itself. "Was it always here?" Ravi asked. She nodded. "The light does not move," she said. "Only the traveler does." Ravi looked at the lamp again. The glow seemed softer now, blending with the morning light, becoming less separate, less distinct. "What happens when it fades?" he asked quietly. The woman replied, "Then the journey becomes rest." She placed the small unfinished cloth beside the lamp. Now it looked complete. Whole. Peaceful. Ravi felt sleep touching him again, deeper and softer than before, like drifting into warm silence. The glow blurred slightly, the open land softened, the breeze faded. The rhythm inside him slowed further. Tack. Almost gone, silence deepened. Not empty. Not dark. But calm and endless. Ravi felt himself drifting inward, beyond thought, beyond memory, into a space where nothing moved and nothing needed to. The lamp's glow softened until it was no longer a separate light, only a gentle warmth surrounding everything. For a long time, there was no sense of body, no sense of place, only quiet awareness resting peacefully. Then, slowly, morning returned. Ravi opened his eyes. He was lying on soft grass beneath a wide, pale sky. The lamp was gone. The bench was gone. The open land remained, endless and still. The breeze moved gently through the grass, carrying no sound, no message, only calm presence. Ravi sat up slowly. He listened inward. The rhythm was gone. No train. No movement. Only silence. Deep. Steady. Complete. He stood. For the first time, he felt no pull to walk, no need to search, no urge to move. The journey had not ended, it had dissolved into stillness. Far away, the horizon glowed softly under rising morning light. The world felt quiet, open, and at rest. Ravi breathed slowly, deeply, peacefully, feeling the calm within him, not something he reached, but something he had allowed. And somewhere beyond sight, beyond sound, beyond memory, the night train no longer called. Because it was no longer needed. Ravi closed his eyes once more, not to sleep, not to dream, but simply to rest within the silence that had finally become his own. The silence inside him felt deeper than ever before, steady and complete. He stepped forward. His foot touched the water. No cold. No ripple. No resistance. The surface held him gently, like soft ground made of light. He took another step. Then another. Soon he stood at the center of the still lake, surrounded by endless reflection, sky above merging with water below. There was no difference between up and down, no boundary, no direction. The knitting woman's voice faded softly. Rest deeper. The light softened. The reflection blurred. The world dissolved into calm brightness. Ravi felt himself drifting again, not falling, not sinking, simply dissolving into deep, peaceful stillness where even awareness felt light, silence expanded. Wide. Endless. Gentle. There was no body, no place, no movement, only a quiet presence resting within itself. Time had no meaning here. The world had no form. Only calm existed, steady and complete. After a long stillness, a faint warmth appeared, soft and subtle, like morning approaching without light. Slowly, awareness returned, not sharp, not sudden, but gentle and peaceful. Ravi opened his eyes. He was lying beside the quiet lake. The water was still. The sky pale. The land endless. He sat up slowly. There was no knitting woman. No doorway. No old man. Only silence. He listened inward. No rhythm. No train. Only deep calm. He stood and looked across the wide open land. The breeze moved softly through the grass, carrying nothing, asking nothing. The journey had not taken him somewhere else, it had brought him into stillness itself. For the first time, Ravi felt complete without movement, peaceful without effort, quiet without trying. The search had dissolved, not into answers, but into rest. Far beyond sight, beyond sound, beyond thought, the world continued, yet it no longer pulled him. The silence within him was deeper than any journey, wider than any destination. Ravi closed his eyes once more. He passed through the doorway. Nothing changed. Yet everything felt quieter. The air softened further, the light gentler, the world more distant, as if sound itself had stepped back. Ravi felt his body lighter, his breath slower, his mind even more still. He turned back. The doorway was gone. Only open land remained. The old man was no longer there. Ravi stood alone, yet completely peaceful. Somewhere far within, a faint echo stirred, not the train, not a rhythm, but a deep quiet presence, steady and calm, like silence breathing softly. He began walking again. Not toward anything. Not away from anything. Simply forward, into the endless stillness that now felt like home. Ravi walked across the quiet land for a long time, though time itself felt soft and unmeasured. The sky above had grown brighter, yet the light remained gentle, spreading evenly without harshness. The grass beneath his feet moved slowly in the calm breeze, whispering without sound. He noticed something new ahead. Water. A wide, still lake resting quietly under the pale sky. No ripples. No waves. Only a smooth surface reflecting the soft light above. Ravi approached slowly and stopped at the edge. The water was perfectly clear, yet deep beyond sight. He looked into it and saw his reflection, calm, still, untroubled. Not the tired face from before the journey, not the restless mind from the noisy world, but a quiet presence, steady and peaceful. "You see clearly now," came a soft voice beside him. The knitting woman stood near the water, calm and silent as always. Ravi did not turn fully. "Is this the end?" he asked. She shook her head gently. "There is no end," she said. "Only deeper quiet." Ravi looked back at the water. The surface remained perfectly still, like a mirror untouched by wind or time. "What happens if I step in?" he asked. The woman replied, "You do not step in. You dissolve." Ravi closed his eyes for a moment, breathing slowly. There was no fear, no hesitation, only calm acceptance. The silence inside him felt deeper than ever before, steady and complete. He stepped forward. His foot touched the water. No cold. No ripple. No resistance. The surface held him gently, like soft ground made of light. He took another step. Then another. Soon he stood at the center of the still lake, surrounded by endless reflection, sky above merging with water below. There was no difference between up and down, no boundary, no direction. The knitting woman's voice faded softly. "Rest deeper." The light softened. The reflection blurred. The world dissolved into calm brightness. Ravi felt himself drifting again, not falling, not sinking, simply dissolving into deep, peaceful stillness where even awareness felt light. Silence expanded. Wide. Endless. Gentle. There was no body, no place, no movement, only a quiet presence resting within itself. Time had no meaning here. The world had no form. Only calm existed, steady and complete. After a long stillness, a faint warmth appeared, soft and subtle, like morning approaching without light. Slowly, awareness returned, not sharp, not sudden, but gentle and peaceful. Ravi opened his eyes. He was lying beside the quiet lake. The water was still. The sky pale. The land endless. He sat up slowly. There was no knitting woman. No doorway. No old man. Only silence. He listened inward. No rhythm. No train. Only deep calm. He stood and looked across the wide open land. The breeze moved softly through the grass, carrying nothing, asking nothing. The journey had not taken him somewhere else, it had brought him into stillness itself. For the first time, Ravi felt complete without movement, peaceful without effort, quiet without trying. The search had dissolved, not into answers, but into rest. Far beyond sight, beyond sound, beyond thought, the world continued, yet it no longer pulled him. The silence within him was deeper than any journey, wider than any destination. Ravi closed his eyes once more. Ravi remained beside the quiet lake for a long time. The surface of the water did not move, yet it did not feel lifeless. It felt aware, like a presence that needed no motion to exist. The sky above slowly shifted toward a softer shade of morning, but there was still no sun in sight. Light came from everywhere and nowhere at once. He stood and began walking along the edge of the lake. Each step felt grounded, steady, and light. There were no footprints left behind him. The grass rose again after he passed, as if the land wished to remain untouched. Ravi did not question it. He no longer searched for explanation. After some distance, he noticed something unusual. A small wooden boat rested at the edge of the water. No rope. No oars. No sign of ownership. It simply waited. Ravi approached it slowly. The boat looked simple but well kept, smooth wood, steady shape, calm presence. It did not rock in the water. It remained perfectly still. A familiar voice spoke behind him. Not all journeys require tracks. Ravi turned. The old man stood there once more, peaceful as ever, hands resting loosely at his sides. Where does this one go? Ravi asked softly. The old man smiled faintly. It does not go, he said. It carries. Ravi looked back at the boat. The water remained smooth and endless, reflecting the sky without distortion. What happens if I enter? He asked. The old man replied gently, you will not travel outward. You will travel inward. Ravi stepped into the boat. There was no rocking. No shift. The boat accepted his weight without resistance. He sat down quietly. The old man did not enter. Instead, he stepped back. You do not need guidance now, he said. The boat began to move. Not pushed, not pulled. Simply gliding across the still water. No ripples formed behind it. No sound followed. The shore slowly drifted away, though it felt as if nothing moved at all. Ravi closed his eyes. The motion was so smooth it almost felt like floating without direction. There was no horizon ahead. No opposite shore in sight. Only endless reflection of sky and water blending into one. The deeper the boat moved, the lighter Ravi felt. Thoughts faded. Memory softened. Even the sense of body began to dissolve. The stillness around him grew deeper. Not empty. Not silent in a hollow way. But full. Steady. Complete. The boat continued gliding without sound, without visible motion. Ravi felt himself becoming quieter than before, as if each breath dissolved into the air without trace. The lake stretched endlessly in all directions, reflecting pale light that seemed to come from nowhere specific. He opened his eyes slowly. The boat was no longer visible beneath him. Yet he was not sinking. He was suspended gently above the water's surface, as if the lake itself was holding him. The reflection beneath him no longer showed sky. It showed depth. Endless depth. A faint voice reached him, softer than wind, lighter than memory. Let go. It was the knitting woman. Ravi did not look for her. He did not need to see her. He understood. He released the last awareness of weight. The last sense of control. The last need to remain separate. Slowly, he began to descend into the reflection. There was no splash. No ripple. No cold. He passed through the surface like light passing through glass. Below was not darkness. It was quiet brightness. A calm, soft glow surrounding everything. He did not feel submerged. He felt expanded. Boundaries faded. Edges disappeared. There was no above. No below. No direction. Only presence. The deeper he moved, the lighter he became, until even movement stopped. He was not traveling anymore. He was resting inside stillness itself. The voice faded. The lake dissolved. The idea of journey dissolved. Only calm remained. For a long time, there was nothing but quiet awareness. No body. No place. No motion. Just deep, steady presence resting within itself. Time did not pass. It simply was not needed. Then, gently, warmth returned. A soft brightness formed around him, subtle and peaceful. Ravi became aware of breath again. Slow. Light. Natural. He opened his eyes. He was standing on open land once more. The lake was gone. The boat was gone. The sky stretched wide and pale above him. The grass moved gently in a quiet breeze. There was no one else there. No old man. No knitting woman. No train. No doorway. No lamp. Only silence. He listened inward. Nothing echoed. No rhythm. No call. Only stillness. Deep. Complete. He took a step forward. The ground felt real. Steady. Present. But it no longer felt separate from him. The world and the quiet within him felt the same. Not divided. Not distant. One continuous calm. Ravi stood still for a long moment. Breathing slowly. Peacefully. Not searching. Not waiting. Not moving. The journey had dissolved into rest, and rest had become natural. He closed his eyes one last time. Not to drift. Not to travel. But simply to remain. Still. Ravi stood in the open land without thought of where he had come from or where he might go. The sky above him was wide and pale, stretching without edge, without center. The grass moved gently in slow waves, touching his legs softly as if acknowledging his presence without demanding attention. He did not feel separate from the space around him anymore. The silence inside him matched the silence of the world. After some time, he noticed something subtle in the distance. A faint outline. Not a building. Not a tree. Something long and horizontal against the horizon. He walked toward it without urgency. The shape slowly became clearer. A long wooden bridge. It stretched across the land without visible support, floating just above the grass. There was no beginning point visible, no clear end. It simply existed, steady and quiet. Ravi stopped at its edge. The wood looked smooth and aged, but not broken. It carried no signs of wear, no footprints, no markings. A bridge meant for crossing, yet nothing beneath it required crossing. A gentle voice came from somewhere unseen. Some bridges are not for distance. Ravi did not look around. He knew the voice. The old man. What are they for? Ravi asked quietly. For understanding, the voice replied. Ravi stepped onto the bridge. It did not creak. It did not shift. It felt steady, like solid ground. He walked slowly along it, each step measured, calm, effortless. The open land remained unchanged beneath him, stretching endlessly in every direction. Yet with each step, something within him felt clearer, lighter, more transparent. The air felt softer here. Quieter than before. Even his breath felt distant. Halfway across the bridge, Ravi stopped. He realized there was no other side visible. The bridge continued forward into soft brightness. He did not hesitate. He continued walking. The further he went, the less distinct the world became. The grass below blurred. The horizon faded. The sky merged with light. The bridge itself began to soften beneath his feet, as if dissolving gently into the brightness ahead. There was no fear. No confusion. Only calm. He took another step. Then another. Until the bridge disappeared completely beneath him. Yet he did not fall. He simply stood in light. The brightness around Ravi was not harsh or blinding. It was soft, even, like a quiet morning that never fully becomes day. There were no shadows here, no edges, no direction. The sense of ground beneath him faded, yet he did not feel unsteady. He felt supported by something invisible, something steady and endless. He closed his eyes. The light remained. Not outside. But within. It felt like the same quiet he had been moving toward since the beginning of the journey. Not a destination. Not an achievement. Just a return to something that had always been present beneath noise and motion. A soft presence formed near him. Not a shape. Not a figure. Just awareness. You have crossed, came the knitting woman's voice, gentle as ever. Crossed what? Ravi asked. The need to cross. Her voice faded, leaving only the steady brightness. Ravi felt the last trace of movement dissolve from within him. No more steps. No more bridges. No more questions. The idea of traveling itself felt unnecessary now. He stood in stillness that did not change. Time had no meaning here. Breath came and went softly, almost unnoticed. The light did not grow. It did not fade. It simply remained. After a long, immeasurable pause, the brightness began to soften slightly. Not dimming, but expanding outward, as if the world itself was gently returning around him. The open land reappeared slowly. The sky regained its pale color. The grass returned, moving softly in the breeze. Ravi stood once more in the quiet field. No bridge. No figures. No distant shapes. Only endless calm. He listened inward again. There was no echo. No rhythm. No distant train. Only silence. Deep and complete.